Hello, shalom, brothers and sisters. I was doing some research today and did some research on the abomination that causes desolation. I was asking Yah to open up my my understanding and to tell me what it was, and and the Ruach HaKodesh, of course, always comes in, and right on time. A leader sister, she directed me to a teaching. I couldn't find that teaching, but but Yah directed me to the information that she kind of hinted at. So here it goes. Okay, those of you that are Nazarene, those of you that are studying the Hebrew roots, I don't mean to say those of you that are in Hebrew roots cult, because there are cults of Hebrew roots that are kind of kooky. But those of you that are studying the Hebraic roots, the Hebraic historical context, the linguistic context, cultural context, the biblical context, those of you that are truly being Bereans and studying, I hope you understand what I'm saying. That the Hebraic understanding is not linear like Western thought. It is almost like a DNA strand. It's cyclical and it's moving forward as Yah is moving forward the timeline of history, but it's also things always kind of repeat themselves. For example, Messiah said that the temple would be destroyed, right? So the temple was indeed destroyed. Then Messiah, with the writings in Mattiyahu and Matthew, many people, many different eras of believers were always watching, and there was a specific messianic community that was watching, and they understood the context. So they understood the context was, for example, a pagan, heathen, unbelieving army was the abomination of desolation. Now, remember, Hebraic thought is cyclical. And so is the word. The word always has a cyclical kind of the same essence that Yah is himself. Remember, he is, was, and is to come. Yasharal, the kingdom was, is, and is also to be completely fulfilled. So, same with a lot of the teachings in the scriptures. Now, we are waiting. Whoa, sorry, my wife is getting gas. So many of the teachings are also similar to that kind of cyclical thought. It was and is to come. So we are indeed waiting for the culmination, the fulfillment, the final abomination that causes desolation. There will be an army that surrounds, quote unquote, Israel, and that army will. Give me a second. Let me put $10. Okay, $5. Sorry, she's getting gas. So there will indeed be a completion of that prophecy, where the armies of the enemies, they surround Israel, and they're going to lay desolate. Look for it, babe. It should be around here somewhere. Sorry, she's looking for the mask. It should be in here. Oh, it's up there. Sorry, she's getting some gas. Okay, but let me tell you this: there was a type of desolation abomination, which was a Roman army that came and with Antiochus and Antiochus, pretty sure, and laid desolate the city. Now, there's a Messianic community in that time period that saw the Roman army approaching, and they fled to the wilderness. So because of that, because of their wisdom, because of their watching for that, because of them watching, they were able to live, and they were able to escape, and they were able to continue the teachings of Messiah, or they could have been wiped out. Remember, the enemy's always trying to wipe out the believers, and just like it says in the prophecies, that there will be like a flood, a torrent. The dragon will open up his mouth and try to sweep, the bride away and things like that. So, okay, so this is what I'm going to tell you. Now, right now, we are facing a type of army, okay? We are facing the fact that certain Babylon... Now, I'm going to say this the same way Messiah said it, and the same way Yochanan would have said it. He would have said it so those of you that have understanding will understand what I'm saying. Remember, Messiah and his apostles and disciples said things sometimes in secret as to not get, in trouble with certain things. So those of you in this movement, those of you in the Hebraic roots, Messianic, Nazarene movement, understand that somewhere is Egypt and Babylon, okay? Not just Babylon and Egypt, but we are currently, all of us believers, in a sense, residing in Babylon, Egypt, Sodom, okay? Those of you who have understanding know what I'm talking about. Now, that wicked system is no longer the system that it used to be. It is no longer the nation that was, once at least trying to follow Yah, at least claiming to follow Yah. There is a new system, and its army is definitely an abomination. Okay? All the times in Scripture where it's talking about, not all the times, but many times within the context of an abomination is talking about an army, because they are an army that is believing in a false god. They are following the precepts of a false god. They are wanting to execute the false god plan. And we know that all these false gods have to do with Hasatan and following his wicked plans, okay? So right now, hold on, I gotta open the door for the wife. Give me 1 second. So right now, there is an army amassing. There is an army already planning. There is a nation that is already planning, and they are wanting to carry out plans that will leave the believers of Messiah desolate. Okay, they're wanting to destroy, they're wanting to kill, they're wanting to murder, they're wanting to make sick. So the abomination that causes desolation is beginning to show its head. Now, if those of you that have understanding, flee to the wilderness, okay? Look up the teacher, Torah to the Tribes. That guy is great. He's one of the few. Oh, there's another one too. There's another teacher. I'll put his name later on the description of this video or something. But there are few of the Messianic Nazarene Hebrew roots teachers that are actually saying, flee to the wilderness. Okay? I'm going to say it, flee to the wilderness, because this abominable army that is being raised up wants to leave you desolate. Now remember, this is the most important point. This is how it applies. It does apply, because remember, all Scripture is to make you wise. All Scripture is to give you life. All Scripture is to give you protection. All Scripture is to help you in the journey. Now, just like I said, just like the people in that time period that saw the Roman army coming, they fled to the wilderness. Okay, even, let me say this, the greatest of all the prophets, Yehochanan, the immerser, he had the same idea. Remember, he was living out there in Qumran. You can look this up, that Yehochanan was living in the Qumran community. There is a great teaching I'll post. Maybe in my playlist, I'll create a playlist on my channel so I could point you guys to my favorite videos. So this brother explains with archaeology, with facts, with good wisdom, how it is that Yehochanan the immerser was living out in Qumran. Remember, we are to live, no matter what, we are to live as if the master could come at any moment. Okay? We are not to, not to be of the wicked nations. So, brethren, it is wise that if you who are the temple, remember, the temple is done away with, okay? That temple that's over there in that piece of land, you the believers, you are the true Yasharel. You are the true nation that is eternally governed by Elohim. That is what Yasharel means. Eternally governed by Elohim. Okay? It is a spiritual thing. Remember, a Jew is one inwardly, not outwardly. Remember what Messiah said. He said to the Pharisees, he said, I know you are the fleshly children of Abraham. Okay? So genetically, they had some Israelite, Hebrew, Shemite in them, but they did not obey what Abraham obeyed. So just because you're of the flesh doesn't mean you're of the spirit. So, and remember, Messiah said, you, the believer of Messiah, are the temple of the Ruach HaKodesh. Okay, you are the temple. So there is an army coming that is wanting to lay you desolate and to cause you to accept a mark, cause you to accept laws and things. So, brethren, it's time to flee, and the time is short. I'm telling you this. You will be wise to get into a group, and just like the Jews in the Holocaust, watch for example that movie Defiance, where a bunch of Polish, I think it was Polish and Lithuanian, Russian Jews were in the forest living and hiding, and they survived. So, brethren, I'm going to say it's time to go and flee to the wilderness, because this coming beginning of sorrows is definitely that. Now, there is going to be another time that there will be the final abomination that causes desolation, but this is one of those two. So like I said, I'm going to say it again, just like the community that was in the 3rd or 4th century, I forgot when Antiochus came, Antiochus laid waste and made desolate, and he was, in context, a Roman army that is abominable. Okay? Look this up, brethren, look it up. There is those studies that are really good, that are explaining exactly in context what the abomination of desolation is. Okay? Now, the enemy is going to try to do a lot of things. The enemy is going to try everything he can to fool the elect. There will be lots of different abomination, desolation things. I can only imagine. You know what I mean? But anyways, now is the time to prepare and flee to the wilderness. Wherever that wilderness is, start buying some land. Start buying some equipment. Okay? Brethren, I hope you hear me with this, because You will be like that community that was in the time of Antiochus, and they survived. Look at the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yehochanan had the foresight to go and hide all of those books of scriptures in jars and hide them in the desert for us to find thousands of years later. Let me bring something else up. Oh my gosh, I had it and it left. Yehochanan. Oh my gosh, I had it. I had that little tingling from the Ruach and it left. Let me see. What was it? It'll come back to me and I'll put it in a different video. All right. Shalom, everybody, and prepare for the what's it called? The preparation day, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Shalom.